Thank you for staying tuned. It is still the conversation. And on this side, we are discussing a remarkable milestone, Nasfat at 30. It was founded 30 years ago, and it has played a significant role in promoting Islamic values, education, and community development. Joining us to take us on Nasfat's journey, impact, and future plans, we have with us here in the studio, ladies first, Ganiat Omowumi Babalola. She is a National Women's Affairs Secretary, Nasfat Worldwide. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We also have with us Dr. Ayodeji Abdulwahid Abdurrauf, Nasfat President Worldwide, and Kayode Oshinuga, the Chairman, Nasfat 30th Anniversary. You're welcome to the conversation.
Thank you.
All right, so take us back to memory lane. First, what does Nasfat mean for those who do not know what Nasfat stands for or what Nasfat is all about? So what does Nasfat mean? And then how did it begin? What were the goals, the visions of, the coming together of Nasfat?
Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen. First, I greet the viewers at home. Nasfat is a faith-based organization. And we have a vision to be the most widely accepted organizations in the world when we started. And we have a mission to be a society that is developing enlightened Muslims for spiritual upliftment of those individual Muslims and for welfare of mankind. Our focus, apart looking at developing Muslims, enlightened Muslims, started back as we are celebrating today at 30, as far back as 1995. Or probably before 1995, when the society was launched to the public, there are just 9 families that started the society in a living room. Our Board of Trustee Chairman today, Alhaji Abdulateef Wale Olashubo, was the man that hosted the whole 9 families in his room, and we thank him for that magnanimous, and most especially the wife, because when they finish that session, she has to cook all of it. And 9 families started it, and then they were all inviting their friends, their relatives to join them. And at that point, they felt the living room is getting overstressed, and they have to move to the public. And our first public outing was in March 5, 1995 at Old Secretariat Mosque in front of Police College at Alausa, at the GRA. So, and the society continued to grow in that direction. A 1-branch location, a living room location, to a first 1 public location until the year 2000. In 1997, the society moved to the new secretariat at Alausa, where we are today, when Brigadier Abubakar Marwa was in charge of Lagos State, and the mosque was still under construction. We're moving there, we're managing it and using it. Then in 2000, we went for a strategic retreat, because firstly, Nasfat was started by professionals. All of these 9 families were professionals. Eventually, people that joined them they are all professionals in various fields. So they felt, for us to grow this society, let's have a strategic retreat. Okay. So the first strategic retreat was held in 2000, or what we call Akodo, on the road to Ekpe, and we call it Akodo 2000. And it was at that retreat that most development we see today, and the subsequent retreats that societies have had, that jump us to this level. Okay. At the retreat, it was decided we must design ways to start forming branches. How do we get to all other locations? And immediately we finished that retreat in 2000, the first location to emerge was Offa branch. You can see that kind of wildfire jump from Lagos straight to Offa. And before we know it, Ibadan, Djibouti, and all of them start coming down. Today, we are in about 360 locations worldwide. Nasfat is across Nigeria now. We mention it, the northern part of the country, the eastern part of the country, the south, and the southwest.
And also outside
the
shores of Nigeria.
We have about 8 locations in the United States of America. We have about 8 locations in the United Kingdom. We have about 5 locations in Canada. And now we have across West Africa, start from Abidjan, Togo, Ghana, across board that way.
Okay.
We also have in Turkey, we have in Egypt.
Wow.
So this is society that is growing real.
Right, and I guess that's why you decided to also add the worldwide.
Alhamdulillah,
and Nasfat.
But it's a society that started in Nigeria.
In Yaba, Lagos, Nigeria.
Yes, Nigerian brand. It's Lagos brand. It's a Lagos brand in Nigerian society.
Right. Alaja, let's come to you. While he was speaking, he did say that, 30 years ago, there was the need to also say thank you to the wife of the host at that time, meaning that whatever you do and you do not have the women, the success is going to be questionable.
Exactly.
And because you represent women worldwide in this association, how much of growth and impact have the women brought to the association?
Thank you very much for that question. You spoke right when you said when you are talking about any success and you want to leave a woman or women behind, there should be some question marks there. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, whenever you hear of anything as-salat, that is the prayer group like that, it is always women, female dominated. So, and Nasfat is not an exception. We have about 70% of membership of Nasfat being women. And be that as it may, we play the vital role in taking the society to where it is today. You spoke right when you spoke about the wife of the Board of Trustee chairman. Because if not for our hospitality, if not for our patience, maybe we wouldn't have been where we are today, and that actually speaks a volume. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, women of Nasfat, when the society was growing, we were few, and it was later. You see, what comes next? It is what we decide at very few number of people that we have on ground. Whenever the salatu is going on, the children, at times they are with us. At times when we'll be discussing the issue about marriage, about 3 of us will now say, how does that benefit the children? So we decided to have children's section. Children's section then grew up to be education unit, grew up to be children affairs unit. From there we had empowerment, we had counseling. Before we now said, okay, women on its own, we should have a women affairs committee where the decisions, the talks about what takes the women folk forward in terms of the family and everything that concerns them. Exactly.
And that has also grown tremendously.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Yes. Okay. Alhamdulillah.
So now we are celebrating 30 years. What are the milestones that Nasfat has accomplished in the last 30 years? And then are there lined up activities to commemorate this milestone?
Thank you very much. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Today, March 5, exactly marked the 30th years.
So today is actually...
Yes, today is actually our anniversary day. And we say congratulations to all Nasfat members worldwide on this occasion of our anniversary day. Right, we've chosen the whole of 2025 to celebrate this, and it's worth it, it's deserving of it. Now, I thought you asked somebody else to talk about women, not Alaja herself. Yes, because you see, we cannot overemphasize the role the women have played.
Most definitely, you will still come to talk about the fact that you cannot do with the women.
No, we cannot do with her.
She's representing.
Yes. She cannot say it by herself. We are assessing them, and we will confirm. My president will tell you that nothing happens without the women's support.
Definitely, we already established that fact. And if you also look
I'm
there are 4 women here. There are 3 of us here, and there are 2 of you here. So we have veto power. We can do and we cannot do. So
I just need to re-emphasize the importance of women in any organization. Islamic group not
living out
any Islamic group.
Okay.
Nasfat over the 30 years has achieved so much, and it is the general belief that Nasfat is much more than a prayer group. We are much more than an Asalatu group. Nasfat is a group where you come and you don't remain the same. Apart from developing you spiritually, for you to be able to communicate to your God by yourself, DIY, do it yourself. Without anybody,
any intermediary,
except through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That has been the major achievement. Aside that, human capital development. We have leadership development. We had various other things. We have even impacted our society, right, in ways much more than one. Humanitarian services. For instance, during this anniversary period, we have heard so many things. We have heard works against women, violence against women, dedicated to violence against women, because Nasfat has been involved in that advocacy, campaign, right? Together with UNESCO or UNICEF or something like that. Yes, they came on their own to Nasfat that we want you to champion this. So we dedicated our anniversary work to that particular advocacy. Right. We have also had mass service, commemorative mass service, we had prayers. We're going to have lectures after the Ramadan, and that lecture is a discourse where we are going to use it as a platform to say that what is the role of religion in bringing positive change to the world. Right. It is the belief and it is the firm conviction of our leadership in Nasfat that religion should be a solution to the world and not a problem. Right. So we want to bring everybody together, including our Christian brethren and other religions. Let us discuss and let us use our platform to promote peace and solution toward progress, and not any other thing. Dr.
Ayodeji, let me come back to you here and ask this question. So, of course, in such an organization, a lot of people are, again, different associations, different groups. A lot of people are not privy to certain things that happen. And I'm sure that a lot of people are wondering today, what is the difference between the president of Nasfat worldwide and the missioner? Alhaji Aziz Onike, who is not here today, but a lot of people, I'm sure that is probably more popular than the rest of you. So a lot of people will wonder, why is it the missioner? Why are you the president? So can you clear that for
I think to reimburse on the milestones, because I haven't seen that milestone. Apart from we being the faith-based organization, like my brother has said, the chairman has said. See, this is an organization that have created about 10 agencies. Apart from the society. So there's so many agencies that we have people sometimes associate them with us. People don't know where. And that's when he talks about woman capacity development. Nasfat has done a lot in that. We have Fountain University. We are the owner of Fountain University. It's in Oshobo. Right. We started in 2007. We have Tafsan Travels and Tour. Tafsan Travels and Tour take people to Hajj. Today we are the best in this country in terms of private Hajj and Umrah services offered. We also have AVEC Academy, AVEC Leadership Academy, where we train leaders. And that's why in Nasfat, people don't just emerge to be leader. Right. We are deliberate about the way we train our leader to emerge in all our units. We have Nashim. Nashim is Nasfat's health services, where we have about 4 or 5 hospitals now. There's one in Ikorodu, there's one in Ota, we have in Abidjan, we have in Oshogo. These are the hospitals that we set up for humanity's sake. And compare, like the Founding University that I mentioned, in Nigeria today, apart from we're the best fit university, we are the cheapest the lowest paid universities, private university in Nigeria today. And our output has been so wonderful in that university.
Okay.
We have Nazars. You know, there's something in Islam we call Zakat and Sadaqah. We have an agency that do that collections. And I can tell you 70-80% come from outside, not from Nasfat member. And then we use it to distribute among Christians and Muslims. Christians benefit. But our goal there is that we want to empower you so that you also can contribute. And that has been the effect of what we have been creating.
Okay.
We have our own Nasfat Missionary Institute.
Right.
That's where I go about the issue of missionary. Where we've seen so many imams, so many afars. We have culture. You know, when we do strategic retreats in 2000, that's when we have created what we call corporate governance. What government is talking about today in Nigeria about church have to declare this, have to declare that. Nasfat has been declaring from the beginning. Nasfat has a proper audited account all along. That's why international body, Jimmy Carter Foundation, they called our missioner to be part of the burial when the man died. Our missioner was invited, you know, that to show the kind of relationship we have. And the same thing, the UNESCO. You know, all these people relate with us based on that. And to the question that you asked, since we did the strategic retreat, and we subsequently review all our activity, we have created the proper corporate governance structure, whereby we have the board of trustees, where the founder, the man that they started in his room, was the chairman of the BOT. We have the National Executive Council that I led, and when we have the National Mission Board that the chief missionary led, and then we have the National Women Committee that my sister here led, and also we have the National Youth Council that the youth led. We have the children, and too, that we have some of them being their own captains in their own class. This is to counter-check one another. You know, in Nasfat, a missioner, a chief missioner is not the overall boss of the society. The way we have created it in terms of spirituals, he all lead the spiritual head. But in terms of management of the society, the president leads the society. When it comes to women affairs, we have the Women Affairs Secretary, we have the Youth Secretary that lead, and we all come together and exchange view. In Nasfat, sometimes, yes, you see our imams coming out fantastic on the member when they go out public. It's because we all work together. We serve as public to him. Anytime we ask you, okay, talk about what you want to talk about, when you go to the public, so that we can dissect it. So that corporate governance is already...
The structure is there and you're following through.
So as president, I can only spend 2 years of 2 terms and leave.
Someone else, then there'll be election.
I'm the head president through shura process. We don't call it election.
Consultative.
We call it consultative, and everybody nominate. People will do screening of you. You must be of good character. You must have this and all that. So I don't have more than 5. And also the chief missioner. You know, I know why you ask this question. Is that people have been wondering, who is even the Nasfat head missioner? Our first missioner ever is called, may soul rest in peace, called Tai Tijani. You know, the man that started in his living room, Tai Tijani was his clerk in the office. But Tai Tijani is a son of an afar, you know, of
so
a missioner.
So on the spiritual level,
he just coordinated it. And when he left, then we have Akimbode, the popular singers, also joined as a chief missioner. He also left. So we have 5 years of 2 terms because they are more closer to the people spiritually. They have 10 years to spend. And that's the kind of structures we put in place. You cannot spend Nasfat money if there's no proper approval from the necessary checks in terms of accountability. We have audited account, and if you go to CAC, they will tell you this is a society that is always compliance to the rule.
I like that you have spelled out that you have structures, because my question now is, like it or not, everyone is growing old, and then you have the old people who would someday, you know, go, and then you have the younger ones coming up. So how are you ensuring that when you're no longer there, those who are going to come and take up the mantle would continue to maintain the structures that are in place?
Like I said from the beginning, see the way we started. When we started in 1995, that first popular launch out, called Wizwe in Lagos, the Adjusters family, MKO Abiola family, big names in Lagos, all their children were part of Nasfat. And see us today, we that are professionals of yesterdays are getting, like you said, we have a focus. You know, we just registered a company now called Lasikin. you know, that's our own media outfit.
Okay.
We've got the terrestrial radio license now, and we're going to launch it. And the reason why we're going that way, the younger generation, the Gen Z as they call, will not be doing exactly what we're doing.
Right.
They may not be sitting down to do a salatu with us. Yeah. So we know where they will go. They want to go digital. And we want to try and be on digital level. And still get them there, lock it there. I can say today, as Nasfat get digitalized, we have more followers on online than even physical. And we're getting more support online than even physical.
Right.
We have some of our branches in diaspora that operate since the coffee time online, and they still hold their sessions and they do exactly what we do. So our younger generations, and that's why we have the youth council.
Okay.
They do things independently.
Right.
We just guide them, and we go and watch what they're doing. Okay. So we're rest assured our future
is secure. That's a session plan. Is secure. Elijah, I know that, of course, he was itching to speak for some of the good things that women.
I think what we had on the women before you go to Elijah.
Okay.
You know, the logo of Nasfat, if you look at our logo, if I ask you, what's the logo of Nasfat? What do you see as our logo?
I've never thought of that.
The only thing I have taken note of is the color.
The color. Fine. Excellent. Yeah. That's where I'm going. That's our brand. We never choose that color. Our logo from beginning is green. But the women redefine us.
Okay.
They redefine us with the blue and white.
Okay.
This blue and white is what everybody sees as our logo.
Right.
And sometimes we try to tell people our logo is green and black. If you go and check that logo. But our face is the woman. And that will lead me to tell the world today that Islam has done women emancipation long ago. Right. Before people start talking about women rights, human stuff, Islam has been the forerunner of it. And that's what has been laid out by the Prophet Muhammad in terms of the women, our Mama Khadijat and our sister Aisha. Those two wives have always been the spokesperson for Prophet Muhammad. At any point in time you see people want to consult Prophet, they go to those women. And that's to tell you they're the front runners. So in Nasfat, there's no difference.
You've actually answered the question I was going to ask her. I was going to ask her, you know, the pivotal role that women play in the association, but then you've said it, but would also like to hear from you because, again, we see more women in Nasfat than the men, and you've also identified the fact that this is not unconnected with their salat. But again, during their salat, you do various things. You do so many things that a lot of people would always, look forward to coming there on Sundays. How do you galvanize women? Because as much as women are the salt of life, women can also be very cantankerous. Wow. So how do you ensure that, discipline is discipline and you are able to coordinate appropriately all of the do's and the don'ts of the association?
Thank you very much for that question. Women, as unique as we are, we have our other side, but with faith being the common factor that is bringing us together, majority of our women are able to put some things in check. Okay. We understand that we are all work in progress. We cannot get there in terms of faith one day, but by the time you listen to this sermon today, you did something and somebody corrected you. Elijah, it's not supposed to be that way. Even if you want to try it some other time, you also caution yourself in the presence of the children, the people that are younger than you. So the sermon is working on our people. Take a look at our form of dressing. Yeah. Like my president said, it was not like this in the beginning. But when we realize that, fingers are not equal and we have different categories, cadre of people, of women in Nasfat, how can we make sure that, there's
no unhealthy competition?
That's it.
Thank you very much. So when people are circumambulating Kaaba, you see people in white. And when you wear white, even if your white outfit is 1 million naira for 5 years, white and the other person white is white. So we have made it a point of a point of rule for our women. Whenever you have anything to do, just put on your white and blue. Right. Put on your white and blue, and we have been sticking to that. Alhamdulillah, women are doing a lot. At Asalatu, we have our weekly programs. We have the ones that are monthly. We have the ones that are annually. We have the ones that are biennially. We normally have our conferences once in 2 years, biennially. Annual Women's Week program. It is what our women across the globe always look forward to. You see, those in diaspora, you know, they schedule their holidays to that period. They, you know, they take part in some of the activities. For that one week-long program. They take part in some of the activities online. Then they come for the grand finale. You know, physically. You know, from all walks of life, from various locations. It is a very big event for our women, and it has been helping our women a lot. Take a look at the 30th anniversary program that we have. We had a community service in the last 3 or 4 years. Our women are fantastic. The executive told us this program is going to be self-sponsored. That you need to impact the society, and we told our women across the zones, in the society, in the community in which you find yourself, let the community feel that Nasfat is 30. We encourage them to do palliative, so that give food items to people. And we do not even leave Nasfat members aside, because we don't want people to be saying, no, you only take exactly leaving our own people. Close to 300 people at Ikeja branch here were giving palliative. Apart from that, we were at Bagada General Hospital. During our Women's Week, we cleared the bills of some patients, and we told them that we will be back to give them branded items. We did that during the anniversary.
Sorry, Alaja, time is fast spent. We must go. But before we go, would again like to talk about the anniversary. I know that major things will be done after Ramadan because of what we have at the moment. But is there any major project that Nasfat is undertaking to celebrate, you know, the 30th anniversary?
Well, thank you very much. There are various major projects. The first thing is the discussion of the forum I've talked about, which is a very major thing. Contributing to world peace is very major, right? We are also launching the Nasfat history book after Ramadan. So we want to tell our stories so that generations coming behind too will know the forebearers of Nasfat and be able to keep the history documented. Right. Our big project is on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Right. Asheshe. Right. That's a big project. It's about 65% completed now. We are bringing it under the anniversary celebration. Inshallah, the phase 1 will be completed. Like I said earlier on, my job was supposed to end by today.
That's
But my Oga has extended.
Graciously extended.
Well, I don't know about gracious.
So that you will complete what you started.
Said, no, you can't go now. You have to run the program for the rest, for the whole 2025 as well. So we are hoping, inshallah, that we are going to run this and commission the first one of that project under the anniversary banner by the grace of God.
But then the lecture, have you set a date already for the lecture?
Yes, for 1st of May.
1st of May, inshallah.
Babatunde Raji Fashola is going to be our keynote speaker.
Where is that taking place?
That will take place in Nigerian Institute of Medical Research.
And Yaba. You went back to you went back to where the journey actually started from.
I think she has the questions about the issue of new generations coming. You know, when we came on board on 4th of February last year, that's when I became the president. We have a focus that our goal will be what we call LEAD. That's leadership, empowerment, agent of change, and dawah. And these are the 3 focus for the anniversary activities. You know, recently we just, for part of the anniversary activities, we just graduate about 400 members of Nasfat on various skill acquisition. You know, when we started, especially the Gen Z, we launched a project that we call Nasfat Activate, because we know where you can get employment now is ICT. So we train about over 100 of them. And, you know, the youths, sometimes they are impatient. We get about 67 out of it. And today, I can tell you those 67 programmers, developers, they've got a job to start with. So we're starting a new one as part of our anniversary activity, which we call renewable energy, where they will be trained how to repair solar panels and all sorts. Those ones, the enrollment is on now. And by the time we are ending the anniversary activity, we'll be graduating those ones. So that's just to cash them, give them what they have, and then they can help us sustain the SLR too.
Okay. Before we allow you go finally today, I'm very curious about this question, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to ask today. What do you also do in Nasfat as a body to discourage splinter groups from rising or from growing from Nasfat? Because sometimes a lot of people will say, we are going because we are not agreeing with certain values anymore. We are taking our, certain members and we're going. Is that also part of what you also talk about when you meet at your strategic meeting, at ensuring that emotion? Let me put it that way.
Thank you so much. Every society has its own growing stage. Nigeria as a project has been growing since 1960, and we know the history get distorted there about how people have been feeling from various regions.
Right.
So there are different human characters with different ideas, but one thing about Nasfat that is keeping us sustainable is because the beginning was not held by the people that you think will manipulate the society, in terms of defining, because it's not a society that is owned by any afar. There are so many afar behind us. The biggest of all affairs in Nigeria that are both alive and dead, they are behind Nasfat. When those 9 families decided to set it up, the book that we read today is not authored by any missionary in Nasfat.
Right.
That book is authored by the scholars, both in University of Lagos, both Imam Baba Loworo, we have Baba in Agege, Ali Lorin. We go far back as even Baba Kama in Ilorin. All the big affairs. So they are behind. They are the one that give us the secrets of the prayer, and it's collected.
Okay.
So in terms of spirituality, the society is backed by those people. No afar will come and join the society and say it's the author.
Okay.
And want to use it to divide us. Because those are the things that you can use and own it. And the one that nobody claim ownership of this society. Even the chairman board of trustee never claim. He's always running away from it. Okay. Anytime you ask him, because you are this, he said, no, I want my reward from Allah. That's to tell you the kind of society. So what your fear is bound to happen.
Right.
When our first missioner that I mentioned of late memory, Brother Tijani, when he left, he went to form Korib. Korib is still there.
Yes.
Okay. When the other one too just left Akibodi, went to form Jamali. Can me go out and form Jamali? I cannot.
Okay.
The only thing I know is this Nasfat in terms of value. And people of our types in Nasfat, of my women's secretary in Nasfat, of my chairman in Nasfat are more than this missionary.
Okay.
So the sustainability of society is in the hand of Allah.
Right.
And by the commitment and dedications of this. See, Nasfat is a very diverse environment.
Right.
The richest echelons in Victoria Land, in Lekki,
are all part of it. Okay.
While the lower end too,
everybody.
In Agege, everywhere.
It's an all-comers affair.
When they started, it was elitic. Over now, it has become a mass society. Right. So who will stop it? Only Allah is in charge of the society.
All right. That's it.
Interesting conversations we've had here talking about Nasfat at 30. We thank you very much for your time on the conversation today. Alaja Ganiat Omowumi Babalola, the National Women Affairs Secretary, Nasfat Worldwide. We have also Dr. Ayodiji Abdulwahid Abdurrahouf, Nasfat President Worldwide, and Kayode Oshinuga, the Chairman, Nasfat 30th Anniversary. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats. You have been part of us. We won't write this history without talking about you.
Thank you so much.
The conversation continues after this. Stay with us.